A winter night in the suburbs of Munich. A mansion engulfed in flames. Fire consuming the upper floors. Screams echoed through the air, but the crowd stood frozen, helpless. A man in a worn work jacket, holding his young daughter, handed her to a neighbor and ran inside. Through the smoke, he found a woman unconscious, clutching a photo frame. He carried her out, gasping for breath, flames reflecting on his weathered face. No one knew that just hours later, those same mansion gates would open again, this time for him. Let me tell you about Markus, 38 years old, a plumber, rough hands, simple life. He lived in a small apartment with his 7-year-old daughter Emma, just the two of them against the world. 4 years ago, Markus had a wife, Anna, sweet, gentle, his everything. Cancer took her slowly, painfully. He watched her fade day by day until she was gone. Markus kept a rusted old key on his keychain. It was from their first apartment, the one where they'd been happy, where Emma had been born. He couldn't let it go. Now, his life was work and Emma. Wake up, make breakfast, drop Emma at school, fix pipes, pick Emma up, make dinner, help with homework, tuck her in, sleep, every day the same. But he was surviving, and for Emma, he'd keep surviving forever. Emma was his whole world, 7 years old, bright smile, Anna's eyes. She was quiet, too quiet for a child her age. She remembered her mother, not clearly, but enough to know something was missing. Markus saw it, the way she'd watch other kids with their mothers, the way she'd go silent sometimes, lost in thoughts too heavy for a little girl. It broke his heart, but he didn't know how to fix it. The fire started on a Tuesday evening. Markus was walking Emma home from her piano lesson when they saw it, flames shooting from the windows of the old Richter mansion, the wealthy family's estate on the hill. People gathered on the street, phones out, filming. Someone call the fire department. Is anyone inside? I think I heard screaming. Markus stopped, listened. There, a voice, faint, desperate. Help, please, help. He looked at Emma. Stay here with Mrs. Klein. Don't move, promise me. Papa, no. Promise me, Emma. She nodded, tears in her eyes. Markus ran toward the burning mansion. The heat was suffocating. Smoke filled his lungs. He couldn't see more than a few feet ahead. Hello? Where are you? Up here. Second floor. He found the stairs. Climbed through the smoke and flames. On the second floor, in what looked like a bedroom, he found her. A woman, mid-30s, unconscious on the floor, clutching a silver photo frame. Markus scooped her up. She was light. Too light. He ran back down the stairs as the ceiling groaned above him. He burst through the front door just as part of the roof collapsed behind him. The crowd gasped. Someone screamed. Markus laid the woman on the grass, coughing, his lungs burning. Paramedics rushed over. Is she breathing? Pulse is weak but steady. Sir, are you okay? Markus just nodded, still catching his breath. Emma broke free from Mrs. Klein and ran to him. Papa! You're okay. He hugged her tight. I'm okay, Liebling. I'm okay. At the hospital, Markus waited. He didn't know why. He should go home. Emma was tired. They both were. But something made him stay. Finally, a doctor came out. She's stable. Smoke inhalation, but she'll recover. Thanks to you. What's her name? Markus asked. Sophia Richter. Her family is on the way. Richter. The name echoed in Markus's mind. The wealthy family. The ones who owned half the businesses in Munich. He'd saved a woman from a completely different world. Later that night, as Markus tucked Emma into bed, she said quietly, Papa, you're a hero. I just did what anyone would do. No, not anyone. You. She hugged him tight. I'm proud of you. Markus kissed her forehead, his heart full and aching at the same time. He lay in bed that night, thinking about the woman he'd pulled from the fire, about the photo frame she'd been clutching, about how tightly she'd held it. Even unconscious, even dying, she'd held on to what mattered most. He understood that. He thought, I never imagined the woman I pulled from the fire would belong to an entirely different world. But he had no idea how much their worlds were about to collide. 3 days later, a black luxury car pulled up in front of Markus's small plumbing shop. He was under a sink, wrench in hand, when he heard the door chime. "Be right there," he called out. He crawled out, wiping his hands on his already dirty work pants, and froze. It was her, the woman from the fire. She looked different now. Elegant, composed, designer clothes, perfect hair, but it was unmistakably her. "Sophia Richter," she said, extending her hand. "I wanted to thank you properly." Markus shook her hand awkwardly, suddenly aware of how dirty he was. "You're welcome. I'm glad you're okay." Sophia held out an envelope. "Please, take this, as thanks." Markus opened it. His eyes widened. It was more money than he made in 6 months. "I can't accept this. Please, you saved my life." "I didn't save you for money. I saved you because it was the right thing to do." Sophia stared at him. No one had ever refused money from her before. "Then at least let me take you and your daughter to dinner." "Please, I owe you that much." Markus hesitated. "Okay, dinner, but nothing fancy. Emma doesn't like fancy." Sophia smiled. A real smile. "Neither do I." "Not really." The dinner was at a small pizzeria. Emma's favorite. Emma was shy at first, hiding behind Markus, but Sophia crouched down to her level. "Hi, Emma. Your father is very brave. You must be proud of him." Emma nodded. "He's the best papa in the world." "I believe it." By the end of dinner, Emma was chatting away, telling Sophia about school and her friends and her favorite books. Markus watched, amazed. Emma hadn't opened up to anyone like this since Anna died. Sophia started coming by the shop more often. At first, she said it was to check on some plumbing work she needed at a property she owned. But eventually, she admitted the truth. "I like it here. It feels real. My world is all fake smiles and fake people. But here, it's honest." Markus showed her how to fix a leaky faucet. She laughed when she got water all over herself. "I've never done anything like this before." "What? Fixed a pipe?" "No. Had fun doing something normal." One evening, Sophia came by after Emma's school day. "I heard you play piano," Sophia said to Emma. "Would you play something for me?" They went back to Markus's small apartment. The piano was old, out of tune, but Anna had insisted they get it for Emma. Emma played a simple piece. Choppy, imperfect. But Sophia listened like it was a symphony. When Emma finished, Sophia applauded. "That was beautiful." "Really? Really?" "You know, I play too. Would you like me to teach you something?" Emma's eyes lit up. "Yes." Markus stood in the doorway, watching Sophia sit beside his daughter on the piano bench, patiently showing her a new melody. And he heard it. Emma's laugh. Bright, clear, genuine. He hadn't heard that sound in 4 years. His eyes filled with tears. Over the next few weeks, Sophia became part of their routine. She'd stop by after work, still in her business suits, and Emma would run to her. "Sophia! You came." "Of course I came. I promised, didn't I?" They'd have dinner together, simple meals, pasta, chicken, nothing fancy. But they were the best meals Sophia had ever had. One night after Emma went to bed, Sophia and Markus sat on his small balcony. "Can I tell you something?" Sophia said. "Of course. I grew up in that mansion with everything money could buy. Servants, private tutors, the best of everything." She paused. "But I was so lonely. My parents were never there. They were always working, always traveling. I grew up surrounded by people but completely alone." Markus listened quietly. "That photo I was holding in the fire? It was from when I was 7. The only family photo we ever took. The only time I remember us all being together." Her voice broke. "I was saving it because it was the only proof I had that we were once a family." Markus took her hand. "You have a family now, right here, if you want it." Sophia looked at him, tears streaming down her face. "Do you mean that?" "Emma talks about you constantly, and I haven't felt this alive in years." Sophia squeezed his hand. "I don't fit in your world, Markus. I don't know how to be normal, how to be simple. You're doing fine. You're doing better than fine." The neighbors started talking. "Did you see? The Richter girl is always here now. A woman like that with a plumber? It won't last. She'll get bored. They always do. Markus heard the whispers. They stung. But Sophia didn't seem to care. She started wearing simpler clothes when she came by. Jeans, t-shirts. She helped in the shop, getting her hands dirty, laughing when she messed up. I'm terrible at this, she said one day, trying to tighten a pipe fitting. You're learning. That's what matters. She looked at him. Thank you. For what? For not treating me like a Richter. For treating me like Sophia. That night, Sophia wrote in her journal, that man didn't just save me from the fire. He saved me from the emptiness, from the loneliness, from the life I was dying in. With him and Emma, I finally feel alive. Everything fell apart when Sophia's father found out. Friedrich Richter, financial titan, cold, ruthless. A man who built empires and crushed anyone who stood in his way. He called Sophia to the family estate. She arrived, nervous but determined. He was waiting in his study. Dark wood, expensive art, the smell of cigars and old money. Sit, he commanded. Sophia sat. I've been hearing disturbing reports about you. What reports? That you've been spending time with a plumber, a common tradesman. Sophia's jaw tightened. His name is Markus, and he saved my life. I'm aware. I sent him a check. He refused it. Because he's a good man. He's beneath you, beneath this family, beneath the Richter name. Father, no. Friedrich stood, his voice rising. You are a Richter. You have a duty, a responsibility. You cannot throw away everything this family has built for some nobody. He's not a nobody. He's kind and honest and real. Real? Friedrich laughed bitterly. You think the real world is some romantic fantasy? Wake up, Sophia. That man has nothing to offer you. He offers me happiness. Happiness doesn't pay bills. Happiness doesn't maintain an empire. Sophia stood. Maybe I don't want the empire. Friedrich's face turned red. You don't mean that. Yes, I do. For the first time in my life, I know what I want. And it's not this. But Friedrich wasn't done. 2 weeks later, he threw a family gala. Mandatory attendance for all Richters and their business partners. Sophia knew what he was doing. It was a power play, a reminder of who she was, where she belonged. But she refused to go alone. Come with me, she asked Markus. Sophia, I don't belong there. You belong with me. Please. Markus looked at Emma, who nodded encouragingly. Okay, I'll go. The gala was everything Markus had feared. Crystal chandeliers, designer gowns, champagne flowing like water. He wore his only suit, the one from Anna's funeral. It was slightly too small now. He felt every eye on him as they walked in. Whispers followed them. Who is that? The plumber. Can you believe it? What is Sophia thinking? But Sophia held his hand tight, proud, defiant. Then Friedrich made his move. He stood at the front of the room, microphone in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming. As you know, the Richter family has always stood for excellence, for prestige, for maintaining the highest standards. His eyes found Markus in the crowd, which is why I'm shocked to see certain unsuitable elements attempting to infiltrate our circle. Gas rippled through the room. Markus felt his face burn. My daughter seems to have forgotten who she is, who we are. She's been spending time with a common laborer, a man with nothing to his name but dirt under his fingernails. People laughed, cruel, sharp laughter. Sophia's hand tightened on Markus's. Father, stop! You are a Richter, Friedrich continued, and Richters do not associate with the lower classes. We certainly don't bring them to family events. He looked directly at Markus. You should leave. You don't belong here, and you never will. The room fell silent. Markus started to turn, ready to leave, to spare Sophia the embarrassment. But Sophia didn't let go of his hand. Instead, she walked to the front of the room, took the microphone from her father's hand. You're right, she said, her voice clear and strong. Markus doesn't belong in this room. Markus's heart sank. Because he's better than everyone here, the crowd murmured. This man ran into a burning building to save my life. Not for money, not for recognition, because it was the right thing to do. She turned to face her father. This man works every day to provide for his daughter. He's kind and honest and real. He doesn't hide behind money or power. He doesn't hurt people to get ahead. Tears streamed down her face. If he's not good enough for this family, then maybe I don't want to be part of this family anymore. Sophia, Friedrich started. No, I'm done. Done with the fake smiles and the backstabbing and the emptiness. Done with a life that has everything except what actually matters. She held out her hand to Markus. Come on, let's get Emma and go home. Markus took her hand, his throat tight with emotion. Emma, who'd been standing with a nanny in the corner, ran over. Are we leaving? Yes, sweetheart, Sophia said, picking her up. We're leaving. The three of them walked toward the exit. The crowd parted, silent, shocked. Friedrich called out, if you walk out that door, you're walking away from everything. Your inheritance, your position, your name. Sophia stopped, turned. I know, and I choose them anyway. She looked at Markus and Emma. From now on, they're the family I choose. As they stepped outside into the cold night air, Markus finally found his voice. Sophia, you just gave up everything for us. No, she said, smiling through her tears. I gave up everything that didn't matter, for everything that does. Emma hugged her tight. I love you, Sophia. I love you too, sweetheart. Markus pulled them both close, and for the first time in his life, he felt like his family was complete again. If you believe that true love transcends every distance, leave a heart below. The next few weeks were an adjustment. Sophia moved out of the mansion, rented a small apartment near Markus's shop. Her father cut her off financially. No more trust fund, no more company credit cards, no more private drivers. She had to learn to budget, to cook her own meals, to take the bus, and she loved every minute of it. How do you turn on the stove? She asked Markus one evening. He laughed. You're kidding. I've never cooked anything in my life. We always had chefs. So Markus taught her, patiently, guiding her hands, showing her how to chop vegetables without losing a finger. Their first meal together was a disaster. Burnt pasta, oversalted sauce. But they ate it anyway, laughing the whole time. Emma declared it the best dinner ever just because they'd made it together. Sophia started working at a small nonprofit, teaching business skills to disadvantaged youth. The pay was a fraction of what she'd made before, but the work was meaningful, real. I helped a kid write his first resume today, she told Markus excitedly. He was so proud. That's amazing. I never did anything meaningful at my father's company, just pushed money around, made rich people richer. She smiled. This is better. One Saturday, they decided to do something special. We should plant a tree, Emma announced. A tree? Markus asked. Yeah. Every family should have a tree, so it can grow with us. So they went to the nursery and picked out a young apple tree. They planted it in the small courtyard behind Markus's shop. All three of them digging, getting dirt under their nails, laughing when Emma accidentally dumped a shovelful of soil on Sophia's shoes. This tree will grow with us, Sophia said, patting down the soil around the roots. Every spring when it blooms, we'll remember that this is where we started, where we became a family. Emma watered it carefully. I'm going to take care of it every day. We all will, Markus said. Together. Life settled into a new rhythm. Mornings, Markus would make breakfast while Sophia packed Emma's lunch. Evenings, they'd all have dinner together. Sometimes Markus cooked. Sometimes Sophia tried, with varying degrees of success. Sometimes they just ordered pizza. After dinner, Sophia would help Emma with homework while Markus cleaned up. Then they'd all sit together watching a movie or reading or just talking. Simple things, ordinary things, but they were everything. One night, after Emma had gone to bed, Sophia found Markus in the courtyard, looking at the apple tree. What are you thinking about? She asked, wrapping her arms around him from behind. How different my life is now. A year ago, it was just me and Emma, surviving, going through the motions. He turned to face her. And now I wake up every morning and can't believe this is real. That you're real. I'm real, Sophia said, kissing him softly. Very real. Do you ever regret it? Giving up the mansion? The money? Your family? Sophia shook her head. Never. Not once. I gave up a prison and gained a home. She rested her head on his chest. My father was wrong about so many things, but he was right about one. What's that? You do have nothing to your name. Markus stiffened, but Sophia smiled up at him. You have nothing except kindness and honesty and love. And those are the only things that actually matter. Emma's school was having a parent event. All the kids would perform something they'd learned. Emma practiced for weeks, a piano piece, the one Sophia had taught her. On the night of the performance, Markus and Sophia sat in the front row holding hands. When Emma walked onto the stage, Markus saw Sophia wipe away tears. What's wrong? He whispered. Nothing's wrong. Everything's right. For the first time in my life, everything's right. Emma played beautifully, not perfectly, but with heart. When she finished, she ran off stage and straight into their arms. Did I do good? You did amazing, Sophia said. I'm so proud of you. Both of us are, Markus added. Emma beamed. I have the best family ever. Late one evening, Sophia asked the question she'd been holding back. Markus, do you ever regret pulling me from the fire? He looked at her, surprised. What? Of course not. Why would you ask that? Because your life was simpler before me, quieter. I brought chaos, drama, my father, the press. Markus cupped her face in his hands. You want to know the truth? If I'd known how all of this would turn out, I would have run into that fire even faster. He kissed her forehead. You didn't bring chaos, Sophia. You brought life. You brought light. You brought Emma's laugh back. And what about you? You brought my heart back. I didn't even realize it had stopped beating until you made it start again. If you believe that happiness can grow from ashes, hit like to spread this hope. 6 months later. Markus woke up early one morning. Sophia was still asleep beside him, her hair spread across the pillow. He couldn't believe this was his life now. He got up carefully, not wanting to wake her, and went to make coffee. He found Emma in the courtyard, watering the apple tree. Morning, Liebling. Morning, Papa. Look, the tree has buds. Sure enough, tiny green buds dotted the branches. It's going to bloom soon, Emma said excitedly. Sophia said that means spring is coming. Spring is definitely coming. Later that morning, Sophia appeared with something behind her back. I have something for you, she said to Markus. She handed him a small box. Inside was a key. Shiny. New. What's this? A key to the mansion. My father's lawyers contacted me. He's dying. Cancer. And he wants to make amends before he goes. Markus's heart sank. Sophia, I don't want anything from him. I know, but it's not from him. Not really. He's giving the mansion to me. To us, if we want it. She took Markus's hand. I told him I'd only accept on one condition. That the gates are open. For everyone. For you. For Emma. For the life we're building. What did he say? He agreed. He said he was wrong. About you. About what matters. Tears filled her eyes. He said he'd spent his whole life building an empire. But he's dying alone. And he realized too late that he built the wrong thing. That evening, they walked to the mansion together, all three of them. The gates were open. They walked up the long driveway, past the gardens, to the front door. Sophia paused. Are you sure about this? Markus asked. We don't need a mansion. We're happy where we are. I know, but this isn't about the mansion. It's about what it represents. She looked at him. These gates were closed to you. To people like you. My father used this place to keep people out, to show his power. She smiled. I want to use it to let people in, to create something beautiful, something meaningful. Like what? A home. Not just for us, but for families who need help. Kids like Emma, who lost a parent, people who need a second chance. Markus stared at her. You want to turn your family mansion into a community center? Why not? It's too big for just us, and sitting empty, it's just a monument to everything that's wrong with wealth. She squeezed his hand. But filled with love? filled with families, filled with hope. That's something worth having. They stepped inside. The mansion was cold, empty, echoing. But Emma ran through the halls, her laughter filling the space with warmth. "Papa! Sophia! Look how big it is! We could help so many people!" Markus pulled Sophia close. "You're sure about this?" "I've never been more sure of anything." "Then let's do it. Let's build something beautiful." 3 months later, the mansion transformation was complete. Part of it was still their home, a cozy section with just enough space for the three of them. But the rest? Meeting rooms for support groups, classrooms for kids who needed extra help, a commercial kitchen for cooking classes, guest rooms for families in crisis, the grand ballroom where Friedrich had once humiliated Markus. Now it was a play space for children, and outside in the garden, Markus planted another apple tree, right next to the one from the courtyard, which they'd carefully moved. 2 trees, Emma said. One for where we started, one for where we're going. On opening day, hundreds of people came. Families, kids, people who needed hope. As Markus stood with Sophia and Emma, watching the mansion fill with life and laughter and love, he thought about that night, the fire, the flames. The moment he'd decided to run inside, he'd thought he was just saving one life. But he'd been wrong. He'd saved 3. Hers, his, and Emma's. Sometimes you don't just save someone from a fire. You save them from a life half lived, and in the process, you save yourself too.